Namaste. Today I wanted to talk about two things that's become part of Western culture. Karma more so, bad karma, good karma, and Maya, illusion. And I've alluded to illusion many times in my videos. And as I'm getting near the end, I have one more video that I'm going to do in this series. So I wanted to deal with these two very common terms, and I wanted to use it in the sense that the popular sense, and then I wanted to put my 2 cents in with how maybe I've learned to see it in slightly a different way, both of these concepts. So let's start it with karma. Good things happen to good people, while bad things happen to bad people. Bingo, there we go. That's a very simplified version of the concept of karma. But it's not terribly far from the truth. Like simplicity. In a Christian, as you sow, so shall you reap. As a man himself sows, so he himself reaps. No man inherits the good or evil act of another man. The fruit is of the same quality as the action. I like that part. But in Sanskrit, which I've been learning and I'm more comfortable with, it means action. It simply means action, work, or deed. And then it has the secondary, its effect or consequence. It more specifically talks about cause and effect. For every action, there's a reaction. Good intent and good deeds contribute to good karma and happier rebirths. And bad intent and bad deeds contribute to bad karma and bad rebirth. So that's the simplicity in the Hindu sense. But it's also, there's a causality. Karma is an action and a reaction. If we show goodness, we will reap goodness. The relationship between karma and causality is a central motif in Hinduism and Buddhism, and one of the earliest occurs in Hinduism. And this is from Hinduism. Now, as a man is like this or that, according as he acts, according to he behaves, as he behaves, so will he be. A man of good acts will become good, a man of bad acts, bad. He becomes pure by pure deeds, bad by bad deeds. And they say that a person consists of desires. As in his desire, so is his will. As is his will, so is his deed. And whatever deed he does, that he will reap. From an early 17th century, before Christ, actually, BCE, Upanishad. So I wanted to just say that for me, I see karma in the Sanskrit sense, and karma just means action. So there's no bad, in my book, there's no bad karma and good karma. In contrast, to current karma impacts the future circumstances of life, as well as the future forms and realms of lives. Good intent and actions lead to good future. Bad intent and actions lead to bad future. But in my view, and what I've come to see is that I said it's controversial. Maybe there's no difference between good karma and bad karma, good deeds and good action. And when all is said and done, in the final sense of our expression as Brahman, any action just ties us to samsara, or the wheel of suffering, the suffering-laden cycle of death. Life, death, and rebirth, without beginning or end, the wheel of existence. Rebirth, rebecoming. And this rebirth is liberation from the cycle of existence, the samsara. Samsara is considered permanent in Buddhism, just like other Indian religion, and karma drives this permanent samsara in Buddhist thought. Short of obtaining enlightenment, in each rebirth, one is born and dies to be reborn somewhere in accordance with the completely impersonal causal nature of one's own karma. The endless cycle of birth, rebirth, and re-death is samsara. And Buddhists tell their practitioners to practice the Four Noble Truths, and with the end game being the end of this samsara, no necessary to be reborn. And reborn means the cessation of suffering that's inherent in rebirth, in life. And now, Maya. Maya is illusion. It's not as well known. Illusion, they talk about the illusory world, and some people just dismiss, oh, this is all illusion, so my actions or deeds, like I said, good karma or no bad karma, these people would misuse my understanding if that's it. It doesn't matter what you do, because none of this is real. It's a magic show, an illusion where things appear to be present, but they are not what they seem. Well, the last part is true. The whole thing is true, but Maya connotates that which is constantly changing and is thus spiritually unreal, in opposition to the unchanging absolute or Brahman, and therefore conceals the true character of spiritual reality. But in Advaita Vedanta, which has influenced me so heavily, non-dualism of the last several years, Maya just means appearance, the powerful force that creates the cosmic illusion of the phenomenal world. In this, Maya is the individual level, appears as a lack of knowledge of the real self, Atman Brahman, mistakenly identifying with body-mind complex and its entanglements. Here where's the ego plays in, mistakenly confusing the ego with who we are, me, my, I. So Advaita Vedanta gets complicated, but it's actually simple. But it takes a while, it takes some study. There are two realities: empirical reality, the knowledge, empiricism, and absolute reality. Okay. Maya is the empirical reality that entangles consciousness. Maya has the power to create a bondage to the empirical world, preventing the unveiling of the truth, the unitary self, or universal self, the cosmic spirit, known as Brahman. The theory of Maya was developed by a 9th century Advaita scholar. Maya and Brahman together constitute the entire universe. So Maya and ego and Brahman, Maya and empiricalism and Brahman constitute the entire universe. It's made up of these two. Now that's two. That's against, just like two kinds of interwoven threads creates a fabric. So two threads woven together and you have one fabric. Maya is the manifestation of the world, whereas Brahman, which supports Maya, important. Maya supports, Brahman supports, this view of reality supports your ego, it supports this empiricism, it supports the illusion, the Maya, and this is the cause of the world. The world is caused by this. Maya is a fact that is the appearance of phenomenon. Since Brahman is the sole metaphysical truth, Maya is the true epistemological. Maya is true in an epistemological and empirical sense. However, Maya is not the metaphysical and spiritual truths. The spiritual truth is the truth forever, while what is empirical is only true for now. Important. Since Maya is the perceived material world, is a true perception in its true perception context. But it is true in a perception context, but it's true in a spiritual context of Brahman. Maya is not false. It only clouds the inner self and principles that are real. It's the veil of illusion. True reality includes empirical and spiritual, Maya and Brahman. The goal of spiritual enlightenment is to realize Brahman, realize the fearless, resplendent oneness. Where the Hindu says the world is Maya, at once people get the idea that the world is an illusion. This interpretation has some basis as coming through the Buddhist philosophers, because there was one section of philosophers did not believe in the external world at all. But the Maya of the Vedanta is in its last developed form, is neither idealism nor realism, nor it is a theory. It is a simple statement of facts. What we are and what we see around us. And I want to end this beautiful sharing with the normal self is the mind. The mind is with limitations, but pure consciousness is beyond limitation. It is reached by investigation into the I. The self is always there. You have only to remove the veil obstructing the revolution of the self. Abiding in the self is solitude, because there is nothing alien to the self. Retirement must be from one's place or our state to another. There is neither the one nor the other apart from the self, all being the self. Retirement is impossible and inconceivable. Sri Ramanana Maharishi. Namaste.